Hello. There we go.
I got it.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I am so good. Thank you for coming on. I'm so excited to see you at the retreat. And I just wanted to have you on because I just love, honestly, women who just say yes to themselves and who get in the rooms to learn, to grow, to expand. And that's you. So I'd love to know what made you want to join the Unstoppable Badass Retreat?
Um, it was way overdue. It was time. Um, I just knew I had to. And with my daughter, I've mentioned in some of our um the Root and Rewire program,
Yep.
part of my story in there, like I've struggled with it since I was like 8 or 9. And I'm a super strong, hard-headed, like, I'll conquer it. I'll do this. I'll do that. I'll do the bodybuilding show. That'll do it. I've got to get this under control. So it's not just me anymore. It's my daughter, and I can see that she is the exact same way I was. So it's funny, how you'll settle with things for yourself, but when it comes to your daughter or someone you care for, you just do what you should be doing for yourself. But you don't, but you do it for them, no problem.
Yep.
So I knew I had to do it for her. I knew all these years I had to do it for me, but I thought I could do it myself.
Right.
And I would just overcome it at some point and keep trying these new things, and it always would come back. And I've gone to counseling for years. I love counseling just for self-maintenance. And there was just always that struggle. I've read books and, gone, just done the things, and it's just always been there. Um, so yeah, when I thought about my daughter Raina, I'm like, I have to do it. I have to do it. She cannot go through life to 46 years old dealing with what I've dealt with. I will not allow her to go through this lifelong struggle like I did. She needs this piece now at 10, and it can shape and mold her. So yeah,
That's
that made me do it.
That's so beautiful. And I love that, you're recognizing that like yes, it's for her, but it's for you as well too, you know?
Mhm.
And what made you want to be in person? Because of course I offer so many programs, but like this one retreat where I'm like it's literally in person. You're like, I'm flying there, like I need to come to this retreat. What about in-person experiences made you want to come? Like, have you been to in-person experiences before, or what about the in-person aspect was it where you're like, I need to go to this one?
Yeah, I have been to kind of motivational seminars, in an arena type setting, and the fire and
Yes.
like the momentum that you get
Yes.
from being in person, you can't get that off of just um, on the computer. You're sitting, like right now, I'm in my room by myself, and it's amazing to be face to face. But if I was in a room full of people, like that energy, you can't get that unless you are in person in the room feeling that energy. So
Totally.
I know that's how I operate, and I've experienced that before. And I'm like, I have to be in the room. I have to feel that energy and get that momentum. And it's going to be life changing to just experience that. I'll never forget it.
Yep.
So I know I need that experience, and I know she does. And I was thinking, I'm like, well, I'll just go and I'll bring this back to her and I'll give the energy to her. I'm like, no, I'm her mom of 10 years. Like, there's only so much energy I can give her. There's only so much she's going to listen to. For her to have that experience, she's old enough to where she's going to feel that energy and she's going to feel that fire and make it her own,
Yes.
not through me. It's going to be her own experience. I'm like, she has to go. She has to go.
Yes,
It's
yes.
going to change
And
your life.
it's so true, but like the energy, it's like, yeah, like on a Zoom call, it's like, okay, I'm learning the information. Okay, it might like integrate like in my mind, but then like you go in person, it's like integrated into your soul. It's like
Mhm.
integrated into your whole being where you
Yeah.
truly be like an embodiment of what you've learned. It's not just like, oh, I know something different now. It's like I'm a different person. Like there's like an identity shift. And
Hmm.
I'm sure you probably experience that as well too. And this goes way beyond binge eating. Like this isn't just about binge eating. This is about health, relationship, confidence. And I'm curious, like, what are you most excited about in terms of like just being at the retreat, like not just even learning the information, but even connecting with the other people? Like, what are you most excited about in terms of the retreat?
Um, being changed afterwards and seeing my daughter experience it too. Like I can't wait to see her eyes light up and that smile of
Mm,
hers. No, like I know I'm going to be able to witness her experiencing that change. And I'm super excited for that. And it takes me back to like when I was a kid. Like I can put myself at her age, knowing how she has, I can't think of the word, body image issues. Yes, she has body image issues. She's self-conscious about her weight. And I can't wait to see her take that all in and just be the little badass she is herself too. She knows she is. She's such a little diva and she's one way at home, but she's another way kind of out in public a little bit. But um yeah, to be in the same room, to I can't wait to feel that energy.
yeah,
um I'm super excited to have just the
yeah,
whole experience and relate with the other women. you know I haven't talked about my food issues with family or like even my boyfriend so much. We have a little bit, but not the extent because it's like an embarrassing thing, like, oh, I come home and I eat this and I eat that. It's like gross. And
yeah,
but so when you get around the same people where no, this is how many people do this in secret because it's not acceptable and it's just this bad image, it's embarrassing to talk about, but it's a real thing. You can't keep it in. It
yeah,
just it just eats you alive and you got to shed light on it. So to be able to be part of the forums and then the root and rewire and just the chats, they get you.
yes,
It's not embarrassing. You're with like kind who struggled with the same things.
yeah,
um so it's so freeing and such a relief to connect with people who understand what you feel inside because of the issue and
yeah.
just yeah.
Absolutely. And as well with like in-person retreats, it's like everyone there is, it's like I gotta pack my bags, I gotta fly to this. So it's like I see the value in myself. And it's like that's why I'm gonna show up to like the people that are gonna be attending this retreat are people who like see themselves in a very at a very high level. It's like I value myself so much that you're gonna be around all other people who also value themselves so much. And like there's something so powerful about that. It's not just like anyone coming to this retreat. It's like you need to see yourself as like I'm important, I'm valuable, like I'm getting in the room, and that's who you're going to surround yourself with. And
Hmm.
as well with like in-person retreats, everyone's so much more vulnerable and like willing to share because it's like this is such a safe, loving space, such a safe, loving community. It's like you just let your guards down, and that's how the healing happens. I feel like a lot of the times the reason why healing doesn't happen is because it's like I'm guarded. Like you said, there's shame, there's embarrassment. I can't talk about this. But then you get in person, and it's like the reason why we're here is for transformation. So I'm gonna let my guards down. I'm gonna share. I'm gonna be open. I'm gonna be vulnerable, and that's how the transformation happens. It doesn't happen when we hold everything in. That's when we stay stuck.
Hmm.
And there's something so powerful about that. And you mentioned something where you're like, my daughter already is a badass, and I wanted to point that out because it's like no one is broken. no one's broken. It's like, you're a badass, I'm a badass, she's a badass, everyone's a badass. And it's like, I'm wanting to take things to the next level. It's like things are not like at rock bottom. Like, I live a good life, but it's like there's that next level. And just like your daughter knows she's a badass and you're a badass, it's like, yeah, I'm a badass. And that's why I'm going to attend something like this to change my life even more. So I just wanted to point
Mhm.
that out as well too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, the feeling like when you're just talking now, like just the feeling of like I get to finally be me
Yes.
and
Yes.
be accepted for that part of me that I wasn't comfortable enough sharing with regular people, because what if they think this and they're not going to understand it and they're not going to relate, and there's going to, not that they would dismiss it, but they can only understand so much. So I'm not confident sharing it with them because they won't get it.
Yep.
So yeah, to be in the room and for people to, you can just be you
Yes.
and not have the shame, and letting that part of you out. Yeah, it's going to be super freeing, and just feeling that that part of you is accepted. So you can
Yes.
be, like you say, so you can be who you are supposed to
Yes.
be without
Yes.
being a prisoner, like in your own mind and body with this thing that you hide.
Yeah.
And that will just take you to the next step to be who you are supposed to be.
Yeah, it's like peeling back all the layers of who you truly are deep down, right? But it's like, then there's fear, we got to peel back. Then there's limiting beliefs, and then there's the shame, and then there's the embarrassment. It's like when you peel back all of those layers, it's like, this is who you truly are. It's like, not like I got to put on a front in front of these people and like pretend like everything's all good, like I'm this type of person. And behind the scenes, it's like nobody knows this, the secret, or nobody knows, that I'm snappy, or I binge, or I'm insecure, or whatever. It's like we're releasing all of those parts of you so that you can truly step into the greatest version of you. And you are her now, but it's like there's layers we just got to peel back so that you can feel confident even showing up as her. Like, that's also an important thing too.
Hmm. I think of the imposter syndrome that I
Yes.
suffer from a lot. Like,
Yep.
oh, if people only knew what with the eating, okay, I'm a personal trainer and I did a bodybuilding show, and people only see the success, the on stage. They didn't see what it took to get there. They didn't struggle mentally with all the mental struggles that I had. I wasn't perfect on my diet for that whole show. I could have showed up better. um if they only knew, they wouldn't think this of me. And so yeah, the shame and thinking less of myself, um that's all so limiting,
Yeah.
like you say, and you don't let yourself shine the way you should,
Yeah.
because you have these secrets and you have these own critical thoughts of yourself that just shouldn't be there, because you keep them in. Yeah, you got
Yeah.
to let them out and be accepting. And
Yeah.
yeah, I can't wait for that freedom,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I listen to your podcast like when I'm working out in the car, and Raina has even listened to them. And she's excited. She doesn't want to listen to them too much because she's like, Mom, are you listening to that again? I'm like, yes, I am. And this is where we're going in
Yeah.
March. I'm like, just wait till you get in the room. She's excited to get on a plane and go to Florida. She's like,
Yeah.
can we go to Sephora after? I'm like, we're not going to Florida to go shopping and stuff. I'm sure we'll have fun after, the day, but she has some of an idea, but I just can't wait for her to get there and really know what we're going there for.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Totally.
yeah, that imposter syndrome thing, I work on that all the time. Like, I always said, if I had a superpower, it would be to see myself through other people's eyes. Um, because I wish I could see myself that way.
Yeah.
And I should see myself that way. I've said to my mom, I'm like, being a personal trainer, I'm like, I don't feel like I can train other people. She's like, just a surprised, shocked look on her face. "Oh, me?" She's like, this is what you do. You're the expert. And I'm like, oh my gosh, don't put my name with expert. No, I'm not. When I got ready for the show, I just did what my trainer told me to do. I
Yeah.
mean, anybody can read a piece of paper and just do the exercise and follow the meal plan. I didn't do anything, and I just don't even give myself any credit. And then I stop and I think these people think this of me. You know,
Right.
they think that, oh my gosh, Sarah and wow and amazing. I'm like, no, no, like if you
Yeah.
only knew. And then I'm like, you know what? You gotta be nicer to yourself. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But,
Imagine how, yeah, you can see and feel what other people feel when they look at you. Imagine what people can, like, people are looking at you, like your daughter's looking at you, like you're like this biggest idol and you're like the most incredible human. And it's like, you need to start seeing yourself in that lens, because when you see yourself differently, you even take different action, right? Like if you
mhm,
saw yourself as like the most powerful badass that you've ever known, it's like you would take action in alignment with that, because that's just your identity. That's who you are. Right. And it's
mhm,
so much more powerful. And yeah, how we see ourselves impacts our results, our feelings, our mood, our energy. It impacts everything. And if you can just see yourself in a different lens, I always like say, like, what lens, what glasses do you have on today? It's like a negative Nancy. Is it like, what glasses do you have on? Because you can put on one pair of glasses, right? You can
yeah.
have one pair of glasses and it's like maybe like this negativity, lens that you're looking at yourself. And then you put on another pair of glasses and it's like, oh, I kind of feel like a badass today. And it's like, if we can wear those glasses every day and you're seeing yourself from that lens that other people see you as, of like, Sarah, she's incredible. Like she's this amazing mom and she's glowing. She's, this incredible person. It's like, you would just level up so much more because you're like, this is who I am. It's not exhausting of like I'm being one person and this is who I actually feel I am. It's not exhausting. It's just like, hi, I'm Sarah. This is who I am. And you just own it. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, I can't wait for you to experience that identity shift.
Because I have days like that where I
Yes.
do own
Yep.
it.
Yes.
And when I have days like that, I think like, man, why can't I be this? Why can't I be like this all the time? I'm like, I am in my power today. I am feeling good. I am confident and everything that I'm doing. Like I feel so good and so
Yep.
empowered. And then I think, but tomorrow might be different,
Yeah.
or this isn't going to last. This is
Yes.
just a glimpse. And I'm
Yep.
always like, how can I hang on to this feeling? Because that's when I'm in that,
Yes.
that's who I feel like I really am. And then,
Unstoppable.
yeah, it is. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could just be here all the time. But I know tomorrow might be different. I'll be down on myself and insecure and lack of confidence. And oh, I don't really know what I'm doing and just limit myself and not have confidence in myself. And I hate
Yep.
that feeling. It's so not me, and I don't know how to get out of it when I have my off days. And then
Yep.
another empowering day will come, and I'm like, yeah, like this is
She's
it. This is
back.
it. And so I know.
The way that I even see it though is like, you see yourself and you have those days, which means that's you.
Mhm.
Like there are some people that can't say, I feel like a badass. Some people can't say, like, I feel so in my power. It's like you have those glimpses and those moments, but that is proof that that is who you actually are. And maybe you're just wearing a different pair of glasses that day, but it's like people who can just tap into it, even if it's for a day or 2 days, that is just living proof that that is actually who you are.
And that's what drives me too. And like, well, I'll go to counseling and I'll read on it. And I always reflect and I'm like, how can I? Because I
Yep.
know that's who I am.
Yep.
And I know it's a journey of like, I'm gonna eventually have way more days of feeling like that versus feeling the way I know that I'm not supposed to be living, that I'm
Yep.
not supposed to be feeling, not the real me. Because
Yes.
the real me gets me down. Or I'm sorry, the negative me, those are the bad days. And it
Yep.
just snowballs if you stay there. It's
Yep.
depressing. You don't have the self-worth. That's when you're gonna go grab a bag of chips. You're like, well, I guess this is me. I'm just going to be on this roller coaster forever. This is who I am, and I know better, and
Yeah.
I'm strong-minded and willed. I'm like, I will conquer this. Like, I will not. Like, there's going to be a day where I have more empowering days than these crappy days, and
Yes.
it gets better and better all the time. It's been a really, really long life journey process to wrap my head around it, but because I've experienced those powerful days and I've tasted it and felt it, like
Mm,
that's enough to keep the journey going and
yes.
being like, okay, this retreat's the next thing. Like this is
Yes.
going to catapult me. Listen to these podcasts is going to catapult me into the power, into the real me. I'm so sick of yo-yoing back and forth. I'm like,
Yes.
that is so exhausting and
Yes.
stressful and not good for mental health and
Yes.
kids and everything else. I'm like, I will not give up until I live in this positive state, this power state every day.
Yes.
Because I'm like, oh, I could accomplish so much. I'm going to build Rome in a day. Like,
Yes.
bring it on because I can handle it. Because when
Yes.
I feel that power, I'm like, yeah, it's like a drug, it's you
Yeah.
want more of it. You want to be like that every day,
Yeah.
living like your most magical life. I'm like,
Yeah.
I know that's what it is.
Totally. And that's why I called it the unstoppable badass retreat, where it's like you don't like it's like you feel unstoppable every single day. You're like, this is who I am. It is that identity shift. It's not like a one time I feel this way and like, okay, another day I feel this way. It's like, no, like this is my new state. This is just who I am. And you own it just like those days that you have and you own it, but it's like no, like I'm owning this on a whole new level where I can't go back to her. I'm not her anymore. Like I am this new version of myself and I can't go back. Like I'm way too evolved. We're like she's over there. Like she's left behind. Like I'm into
Yeah.
this new version and I'm just so excited to help you through this and create these magical moments and these identity shifts for you so that you can feel unstoppable every single day because I know it will happen. Like you have it in you. There's always some people that I speak to, I'm like, there's just something about you. And I can feel that just who you are. It's like you want to better yourself. You want to, better yourself for yourself and for your daughter. And there's nothing that's going to stop you. So this is
Yeah.
so exciting. Where
Yeah.
where are you flying from?
Michigan,
Okay.
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is so
Yeah.
exciting. I cannot
Yeah.
wait to meet you.
I can't wait. Yeah. After I booked it, I'm like, oh my gosh, now what? Now I've got to wait till March. I'm like, what am I going to do until March? I want to go right now. I'm like, I'm so excited. I can't wait.
I know. I'm like counting down the months. I'm like, okay, it's almost December. It's like I don't want time to go by fast, but I'm also like, it needs to be here tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Very excited.
but there's actually something so magical about this space, right? So it's like even though it's not until March, it's like things are happening. Things are going to happen between now and March. And I'm sure maybe you can even speak on this if you have noticed, like even just like a slight shift in how you're even seeing yourself, just committing to something like this. Like, have you noticed a shift in yourself of like, I'm about to go up a level? Like, have you noticed anything?
Yeah, I mean, just listening to the podcasts. I listened to them a while ago, and then I got into another podcast. And then when I heard about the retreat and stuff, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get back into Lorna's podcast. And just listening to it and having it in the front of my mind, um, it sets the tone for the day. It just is a constant reminder, like if I were to stray back into the negative side, I suppose, I think I said in one of the chats on the Root and Rewire, um, if I catch myself getting into that mode, I'll put on one of your podcasts. I'm like, nope, nope, we're not going there. We're
Yeah.
going back with these podcasts. Like, here's your reminder, stay here, stay over here.
Yes.
This is not who you are. We need the reminder. We're starting to go back.
Yeah.
So that helps. And the body image has gotten better. Like, you know what? People compliment me, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not as self-conscious. So just being tuned into it every day,
Mm,
um, helps me make better choices and just stay in the right frame of mind. So
yeah,
yeah, I can already feel like huge changes mentally because
yeah,
and when with life, everything is so just in your head,
yes,
your perspective and train of thought. And a big thing is like the habits, realizing that a lot of the things are just a habit. You've done them for so long.
yep,
And so to break the habit, I know that takes time and the
yep,
rewiring.
yes,
And those are things I'm doing now. And I can notice an improvement and a change in that because I never thought this way before. Maybe I didn't listen
yes,
to podcasts before, and now I do. And my brain's getting exposed to new information and a new perspective. And it's like, oh, yeah, that perspective feels good. This perspective makes me feel strong and empowered, and this is more of who I
yes,
am. I want to do more of that.
yes.
So yeah, it's all the domino effect of really good stuff.
So good. Oh my God, I'm like getting so excited.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
So good.
yeah.
Well, I cannot wait to meet you and your beautiful daughter. This is going to be amazing. We're literally going to be counting down the minutes and the hours. And for anyone that is like listening and they might be like, yeah, like, I'd love to go to something like this, like an in-person thing. Like I'm sure it's going to be super transformative. Like what would you say to somebody who's like, I want to go, but maybe there's doubt or, there's resistance. Like what would you say to somebody who might be on the fence?
Don't overthink it. Like if you have that feeling like I know I should go, but I don't know if I can afford it. I don't know if that's a good time of year. I don't know. Just do it because if you don't, you'll justify yourself right out of it. Just like with anything, oh, I should go to the gym, but I deserve a day off, or I'll do it tomorrow. No, don't think, just do. Don't
Yes.
think, just do it.
Yes.
Can I afford it? No, I'm gonna find a way. That's why I'm
Oh,
like,
yes.
maybe I'll just go and I'll leave, Raina will stay home. I'll bring back the information. I'm like, no, no, no. I'll find a way. This is way too important. You can't put a price on it. Um, it's I just have to. It's gonna find a way. I can't not do it. I can't not. And
Yeah.
I can't not bring her.
Yes.
So don't think, just do it. Just
Just
do
freaking do it. And
it.
for everyone listening, when you come, like you're going to be part of an incredible group, like just like you're going to be with Sarah, like an incredible badass, myself. And, these are the type of people that you're going to be surrounding yourself with, people who think like this, who are resourceful. It's like, I'm going to find a way. Like I want to grow. I want to become better. Like these are the people you're going to be surrounding yourself with. So I cannot freaking wait. This is going to be so exciting. And thank you for just coming on and sharing your experience. And yeah, it's going to be a magical, magical weekend. And I'm so excited.
Me too. Very excited. Thank you.
Of course. Well, we'll see you inside of the Root and Rewire membership
Mhm.
and we'll talk soon.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, bye.